Good evening to everyone linking in from across the country to join in conversations with the National Association of Latino Healthcare Executives, also known as NALI. I'm Lori Thibodeau, founder of the La Mesa program and national board member of the National Association of Latino Healthcare Executives. And it gives me great pleasure to welcome you to our La Mesa Unveiled Alumni Insights, a live Q&A session. If you're new to NALI, I'd like to take a few minutes to share with you a little bit about our professional association. NALI is an organization with a little over 18 years in the making. We're an association of healthcare leaders committed to fostering a culture of authenticity. We champion diversity, equity, and inclusion initiatives, and we promote and advance varying perspectives and ideas that provide opportunities for Latinos, Latinas, and multicultural individuals to have a role, a voice, and a seat at the table. The NALI footprint spans the U.S. via multiple chapters. So definitely look us up, see if we're in your area. If not, build one. Our growing members and partners network represents students, early careers, and mid to senior level executive physicians, nurses, and other industry professionals. Together, we ensure that we are advancing our mission and that we create opportunities for leadership, professionals, development, career advancement, community engagement and advocacy, and care transformation. We welcome you to join and connect with the NALI family and have developed this program to offer hope, inspiration, and wisdom. With that, get some popcorn, enjoy the conversation today, take some notes, and share about this wonderful program. And thanks again for joining us. I'm really excited to share with you some more about NALI La Mesa's program. And I'm going to bring on a very special guest with me. She has taken on the role of one of our chairs for the La Mesa Emerging Leader Program. Please join me in welcoming Stephanie Flores to the stage.
Thank you, Lori. Hi, everyone. So Stephanie Flores here. I'm a proud Salvadoreña living in Los Angeles. I'm a project manager at Kaiser Permanente. I received my undergraduate degree at the University of Southern California, and I went on to get my Master of Professional Studies with an emphasis in psychology and healthcare administration. And today I'm just truly honored to be here because I also represent the second cohort of La Mesa. So I'm honored to now serve in a chair capacity with this amazing team.
Stephanie, I just love your journey because not only are you actively involved with the NALI chapter of SoCal, but you're also actively helping to bridge gaps with the La Mesa Emerging Leaders Program. Tell us, before we bring everyone else in, our wonderful alum, tell us what made you say yes to NALI and yes to La Mesa?
Yeah, that was easy. I believe that at the moment in time that I chose to really pivot into healthcare, the thing that actually made me do the jump is finding my familia, which was the SoCal chapter of NALI, and I've absolutely never looked back. That's how I became familiar with the La Mesa program, because it's on the central time zone. I waited a year to make sure it worked for my plans, but I still proceeded again the next year, even though it was on central time zone, and it was absolutely worth it. So even now, continuing to give back in this capacity, I absolutely don't hesitate because of the experience that I had.
Awesome. I want to emphasize that the La Mesa program is a national program. You're going to hear from members, alumni all across the United States. And it's a it started the development of the La Mesa program originated with the founding chair, Jackie Cifuentes, and myself. And at the time, I was president of NALI DFW. And as you guys know, during the pandemic, it can get a little tough trying to navigate your way. But this program was so impactful when we did our first cohort that we've been doing cohorts every single year, and more leaders have joined us in chair roles and in committee roles just to keep the message and the foundation of NALI alive. So I'm so happy to have you with us, Stephanie, and to have you in a leadership position as we move into as we recruit for our cohort number 4. So I'm going to introduce some of our alumni that are backstage that are very excited just to be here with you today and tell you more about their experiences. We'll first bring on Eduardo Martinez.
Hi, everyone. Thank you. Good evening, and thank you for having me here. My name is Eduardo Martinez. I'm a 2023 La Mesa graduate, alumni, and I'm originally from Monterrey, Mexico, but grew up in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, and I currently reside in the Dallas-Fort Worth area as well. A little bit about me. I completed my bachelor's of science in nursing um, back in 2011 and from the University of Texas at Arlington, and went on to complete a master's degree in healthcare management. I currently work as a clinical outcome coordinator at Texas Health Resources in Dallas, and I also have a role as a clinical instructor for the University of Texas at Arlington nursing undergraduate program. I do that on my free time, I guess. um, One fun fact about me is when I do end up having some free time, I like to work on DIY projects at home improvement DIY projects, and my wife has a long list for me pretty much all the time. And but I love working on it, and I really enjoy it. Thank you.
Eduardo, we might need to do some missionary work and go ahead and build a few houses, huh?
Yeah, no, I've thought about building an extension to my house, but I've just been busy and I can't commit to it yet. But I will
Maybe
do something big.
maybe we build a table.
Oh, I built many tables already.
Yes. For those of you who may not speak Spanish, the joke was La Mesa means table, so we're building tables every day for you to sit at.
Oh,
Yeah. And Stephanie mentioned that she was making a casserole. She told me backstage that she made a famous casserole.
Yep. Yes, that's my most recent accomplishment as far as the holidays go. I brought it over for Thanksgiving and December holidays. They requested it again, so I feel pretty good about it.
Oh, good. You're gonna have to bring us some to our table. So I look forward to tasting some of your casserole.
Will do.
Next, we'll have Christina Martin.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Christina Martin. I am originally from Houston, Texas, and I'm here now. I graduated with my biology degree from Sam Houston State University, and I just completed my Master's of Healthcare Administration degree from Texas Women's University back in December. Whew. So I'm finished that. I'm also a clinical research associate with Texas Children's Hospital here in the medical center in Houston. And I've been doing that for about 2.5 years now. And I love it. I love clinical research. And a fun fact about myself, I love sports. It's football season. And if you're a Houston Texans fan like myself, you see that we are very excited about this season. So it's a good time for the city of Houston right now. So I'm very excited. That's what I love to do in my free times. Anything sports related, I'm there. Thank you guys for having me.
Oh, that's awesome. I'm glad we have a team that's getting to the playoffs. That
We're,
sounds.
we're getting there.
And next we'll have Bo Bostino.
Hello, everyone. Thank you for having me. I'm honored to be a part of this panel. My name is Bo. Bo Masnadom. I'm from Albuquerque, New Mexico, and that's where I currently live. I got my Master of Health Administration from the University of New Mexico, Go Lobos. Right now, I currently work for the New Mexico Department of Health. I'm a healthcare surveyor supervisor, where essentially we ensure all federal and state regulations are in compliance for like skilled nursing facilities, and intermediate care facilities for the intellectually disabled. I really like my job. I love healthcare. I would say a fun fact about me is like Christina, I'm a big sports fan. I love like fantasy and sports like that. But I also know how to play the violin. So I'm not saying I'm good at it, but I do know how to play it. So
Okay. I love that, Bo. Maybe you can play at the summit.
you have to talk to my manager. So we'll look at something.
Well, everyone, Stephanie and I, when we first got into this panel session, one of the questions that I asked, which I'm going to extend to all of you, is why NALI and why should people consider joining La Mesa? So we'll start with you, Eduardo.
Why Nali? Well, I would say Nali what caught my attention because of their mission, and this mission was to advance diversity in healthcare leadership. When I looked at La Mesa program, I had been in healthcare already for about 10 years, serving my community as a nurse in the critical care department and the emergency department. And I realized that I had many questions for the next step, and I needed somebody that I could, you know, relate to and be able to ask questions and have a community that I could rely on. And so when I read about the platform that they had, the leadership program La Mesa, I thought it was a perfect program for me, and so that's why I chose Nali and the program.
Awesome. Christina, what about you?
Yeah, so very similar to Eduardo. I actually was referred to La Mesa by a 2022 cohort member, and she was telling me about the program while we were at the rail stop here in Houston, and she had nothing but great things to say. I mean, her face was just lit up with the amount of information she was telling me, and I was telling her at the time that I felt very stuck in the position that I was in, and I didn't know how to really put myself out there. So she told me that I should really look into networking and mentorship. And so that's how we got into the conversation about Nali. And as I was reading about Nali, I come from a multicultural background myself. So I really appreciated the mission as well with diversity and the advancement of diversity, and really the advancement of putting yourself in spaces that you deserve to be in. I think La Mesa really promotes that, and that's what really gathered me to want to apply and really come out of my shell. So,
Oh, I love that. Thank you so much, you guys, for sharing. And Bo, what about you?
Mine's similar to Eduardo and Christina as well. especially like for Nolly, after when I was in my MHA program, our New Mexico chapter president, she at the time she said, "Hey, do you want to be a founding member of this chapter?" And I didn't really know anything about Nolly, and so I learned the mission and kind of the things and the impact that Nolly has on communities throughout the country. And I said, "Yeah, absolutely, let's do this." And so I am a founding board member to our chapter, and then our chapter president again. We were in the same MHA program and at the University of New Mexico, and don't get me wrong, New Mexico is a great state, it's home, but we're very limited on opportunities here. And she was in the same boat as me, as this career mentorship guidance. Like, where do we go from here? We didn't really get that when we graduated, even though it was a great program. And so she informed me about La Mesa, and kind of like Eduardo and Christina said, seeing that opportunity to have that personal and career growth and develop yourself further is something I said, yeah, absolutely. And so I signed up as soon as I found out about it.
I love that. And one of the things that both you and Stephanie honed on was taking leadership roles, even within chapters, as also kind of building that family and that connection. And that's what Nali is. And La Mesa is also, as part of La Mesa is, understanding that there can be gaps as you're going through your early career stage, and identifying those gaps, and really having a program designed in such a way where it provides resources. I guess before we go into more details, I'd love to talk more about what resources are available with La Mesa so people can kind of understand our program a little bit more. Stephanie, would you like to elaborate?
Yeah, absolutely. And if I can, I wanted to just touch on the last question when you asked about it. It made me question, like, why not? You asked why Nale, why La Mesa. In my mind now, in retrospect, I'm like, why not? I think, I personally identify as a first generation student, but first generation everything as I continue to navigate my own career. And so I feel like these have been spaces, every single person that I've met who does uphold this beautiful mission of Denali, we all take whatever it is we need to really propel us forward. And that continues to be the case for me. So I just wanted to share that part. And then as far as the La Mesa program, gosh, there's so many nuggets that I feel like even now where we are, there's new things that we can offer. So some of them, just to mention a few, the structure really includes the book series, where you do get to kind of speak one-on-one and in a group setting with your fellow cohort members. And there's also the fireside chat per se, where you get to sit with a speaker who also is an expert in their field and ask questions, which is extremely unique in this day and age where everybody's very, very busy. And then I'll go ahead and mention also the Lean Six Sigma, white and yellow belt. Those are huge as far as our resume goes, just to continue to find ways to be outstanding as we figure out our own journeys. And Lori, definitely feel free to help me out if I missed anything. I did the overarching details at least.
Yes. Stephanie, those were all very good examples of exactly what La Mesa program is. And each year, what we do is we evaluate the program. And so it's growing and it's building. This year, we actually offered something new, which was a one-on-one mentoring. So where students and early careerists, and we should define our students and early careerists because people may not understand, it's the senior level of your undergrad year, or the first 2 years in grad school, or the first 2 years in a professional work setting. And the reason why we designed it in that specific time frame was due to the fact that it's like the awkward teen, but but for the transitional phase that people experience. And so sometimes it could be very overwhelming to understand a healthcare organization and try to get your foot in the door. And there's different things that you're dealing with and trying to understand. And so there's that additional one-on-one mentoring that the program has started. The program is continually growing, it's continually improving, and finding out what resources are needed for the early careerists. Our president of the National Association of Latino Healthcare Executives has written a comment, and I'd love to share it with you. He's in the audience cheering us on, Marcos Pesquera, and he said, so many opportunities to learn and to give back, to build lasting professional relationships, and to grow as a servant leader. And I think that just kind of sums it up. We love you, Marcos. Thank you so much for supporting us. And that's one of the great things about NALI. So, I think we kind of talked a little bit about the journey, and I want to know more about your guys' journey, about just what did you, now that we've talked about the different resources, is there anything you feel that is unique that you absolutely loved about the program that you'd love to highlight with the audience? Christina, you're shaking your head.
Yeah. So I think that all the resources that were given to us were extremely valuable. But one was the resume workshop. And the reason for it is because when we first had our initial meeting at the resume workshop, my resume was not the prettiest, and I was able to get it, speak with the representative. We had a great conversation, and I asked her, I said, is there any way that I can contact you again? And so before the Thanksgiving break, I contacted her, and there was a certain role that I could not get to save my life. I was getting denied after denial email. And I told her, I said, I think I need to do something with my resume because it's not, going through. So fast forward, we made my resume pretty. We tweaked it. It looks very professional. I just accepted the job offer that I kept getting denied to. And I really honestly think it was because of that resume. So I really appreciate La Mesa for giving us that workshop. I mean, I really think that helped me so much to really tailor it to how it could be pop out to recruiters. So awesome resource right there for myself.
Lori, if I can add to that, like you said earlier, one of the resources that was new in my cohort was the mentorship that was included on our cohort, and I think that was one of the most impactful resources we had um, as members of La Mesa program, because we, prior to this program, prior to going through this program, I didn't really have anybody to connect with, anyone to relate to, anyone that I could share my struggles that I was having as I was transitioning from a clinical role into a role outside of that clinical area. And so I felt that it was invaluable. The time that these leaders provide you, the openness and the willingness that they are putting forth, and just willing to help you is just incredible, and I'm so grateful for them.
And I think if I can add on to that too, like I agree with Eduardo and Christina. Like Christina said, my resume I thought was good, and then I got a nice reality check, and it is a completely different resume now, which is obviously for the better. And like Eduardo said too, having a mentor is it's kind of priceless having a career mentor. I mean, you really, I was naive coming into this, and I really didn't know much about mentorship. You hear about it, but until you have that opportunity to have one and somebody that can help guide you and be in your corner and help you grow to where, you want to be one day through their, learning from their mistakes or whatever is something that, I always cherish myself. So it's a very, very priceless, experience that I was happy to be a part of.
So not sure if Lori might have lost some connection there, but I can definitely say that I can relate to all of you. I think every relationship is invaluable, and I continue to take that with me as well. So thank you so much for sharing.
I love that. And Stephanie, you also just accepted a new position dealing with project management.
Yes, I did as well. And I can say that the resume workshops, it really does, like everybody has mentioned here, it makes you reevaluate just how to structure it in a very concrete way. Very specific examples for how to improve. And that's just one area. Of course, these one-on-one conversations also give you the soft skills when you're finally going to be in front of an interview. And so, yeah, definitely a lot to be thankful for.
Awesome. I think one of my favorite pieces is our book club. Just being able to connect with others and really learn from others and their experiences. Because in addition to the actual speaker series, having that function where we also get to learn about each other. And it's kind of cool that we're from all across the United States. Of like, okay, hoping somebody applies from Idaho, but we have people from everywhere that you can imagine, from Utah, from California, to New York, Michigan, all across the country. So I guess, what is some advice that you would give to your younger self about the program and connecting?
If I could go back in time, Lori, if you don't mind, if I could go back in time, I would tell myself to hurry up and apply sooner, quicker, because I was, really hesitated it when I saw it. I read the program. I read what it was about. I realized that it was a 6 month commitment, that we're going to be meeting on a regular basis, and I was wondering, am I going to be able to do this on top of all my responsibilities at work and my family? And I have a now 2-year-old, but at the time he was 1, and so we had our hands full at home, my wife and I. And I would tell my younger self, to not be afraid, because this is going to help you grow, and this you're going to meet some really great people that are going to make a difference in your life, and you're going to make some really good connections. And even if nothing changes in the short term, the connections the experiences that you create just from having gone through the program are invaluable.
I think to add on to that, what Eduardo said too is like, yeah, absolutely. I would definitely tell myself to, apply ASAP and, also like, just go for it, right? There's, whether it be personal or professional opportunities that come out in your life, sometimes it's okay to, go out of your comfort zone and just go for it, because that opportunity might end up being the best thing that's ever happened to you, right? So absolutely do it.
Yeah, same. That's picking back both off of Bo and Eduardo. I mean, I think that I would tell myself there is a reason that Leslie was placed in your presence that day, and there was a reason why she gave you her insight into this program. So I think that I would tell same thing. I waited until the last minute to do the application, but I was so hesitant. I don't really understand why I was hesitant. I think I was still in my shell, and so I would tell her, just go for it. There's what do you have to lose? You only have so much to gain from here on out, and so I think that would be the one thing I would tell little Christina back then.
Definitely. I like that. Okay. From what I'm hearing from you guys, go for it. Apply, apply, apply. And since we're talking about application so much, I think we need to talk about the application process, when it's due, what is the best success for the application. So so y'all let us know what y'all tips are for the application, and we'll go ahead and Stephanie, let's first start telling them about the application process this year.
Yeah, so I'll go ahead and open that one up. The application is officially open as of early January. Officially, applications are due January 26th. And then we hope to have our cohort of up to 25 members, hope to notify by about February 7th. And so that's the official timeline per se. And so the application requirements, there is, once you go in online, there's going to be a form, and then a couple new things. It does mention a letter of reference, so a recommendation. And so this one officially is optional. We want to make sure that that's clear, just in case anybody's still nervous to get it to us. We absolutely encourage you to apply no matter what. And so the reference letter, as mentioned, other than that, I also wanted to mention we have a new official contact, which is lamesa@mynale.org. And so you can see it on the screen there. And so pretty straightforward. Please feel free to email us, ask us any questions if you have us on LinkedIn. We are absolutely able to share anything you'd like to know. If you're even remotely interested, we absolutely encourage you to apply.
Definitely apply. If you can submit your application sooner than the 26th, definitely do so. And we're right here right now to answer your questions, as well as you have access to this email if you want to ask something that is maybe more personal, that or if you feel more comfortable that way as well too. That's also an option. So what are some best tips for the application? What would you say? How did you go about the application?
Hey, Lori, if I
Yeah.
may, I would like to answer this. Some good tips for the application is to be honest, to be your genuine self, and just share who you are openly, because I think if you're gonna come into this program and you're gonna create a relationship with individuals that you've never met before, I think it's important to start off with that openness, with that sincerity, so that you can get the best out of the connections, out of the relationships that you build within the program. Um, One of the things that my mentor has always encouraged me to be is to be my genuine self, to not try to be like anybody else. And I love that about my mentor because he finds value in who I am as an individual, with with everything and all my cultural background, and everything that makes me who I am. And I would encourage anyone to be the same way whenever you apply.
Yeah, I would say off of that, I totally agree. I think that your story is unique and it should be heard. So when you're applying for it, just continue to think of yourself as is yes, you're valuable. I think when I was applying, I didn't feel that my story was unique. I didn't see myself as like, well, like what makes me, different or why I should be applying. But that first step of vulnerability, allowing myself to really put myself upon that application, I think um, it was the best step. So definitely apply, and remember, there is no bad question. Please, please, please reach out to all those resources, and any question is a great question, and we would love to see the cohort grow and continue to grow.
Yeah, absolutely. I just want to add too. I couldn't have said it any better than what Christina and Eduardo said. But yeah, I know like the questions and just being genuine and exactly what Christina said too. I was like, honestly, I didn't think I was gonna get picked. I was like, there's nothing unique about me. I guess I have that mentality, which isn't a good, it's a toxic trait, right? But it was. I'm really glad that I did do that. And just be genuine to make these meaningful connections that hopefully continue on throughout the rest of our lives.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
I was thinking one of the great things about the program is about the La Mesa program is its inclusivity. The fact that we're very welcoming to different groups of people. We bring them in and we welcome them. We accept allies in addition to our Latino groups. And I think that, and we bring them a part of the family. Next thing you know, we're making tamales at the table. So it's just a part of us and family and welcoming. We have a comment from George Avila. He said, sounds like you guys gained a lot of great pieces of wisdom. How are you sharing it with your colleagues and friends? So now that you guys have finished the program, how are you guys getting the word and message out?
I think for me, it's just you know, every day at work, sure, I'm able to use some of this concepts that I've learned, but also, wisdom that's passed down from like our guest speakers or the book club, but also, being in a newer chapter of Nolly, the New Mexico chapter, we're grassroots, right? We're coming up and just trying everything we can. So I'm able to put the things that I've learned and the networks and connections that we've gained through La Mesa itself into good use to build our own chapter locally to make that impact, in my community. So, it's just something that I'm able to use like daily, pretty honestly, and it's pretty awesome that I get to do that.
Awesome. A great one. So we did get a couple of other few questions. I'm going to put this in the chat. We got a question from Rebecca. Rebecca says, thank you all for the great information. Just wondering if this program would be right for me. I'm pursuing my third degree, MBA, so I'm not in the beginning phase of my professional career, but would like to pursue a leadership position when I'm done. And so we say go ahead and apply. One of the things is it's about that transitional phase and looking when you submit your application, you also submit your resume. It gets us an opportunity to learn about you. We also have, NALI also has partnerships and other programs designed. And so if we're not necessarily the right fit, we can definitely look for the right fit for you.
Yes. In addition to that, I would say, Rebecca, um, you're gonna meet a lot of people that maybe are maybe in a similar situation as you are. So you're gonna learn a lot from them, and you may find out that who knows, maybe your third degree is not what you really want to pursue. Maybe you want to pursue something different. So I think there's going to be some benefits from joining the program. I feel like I was in a very similar or in a similar situation, having completed my second degree and already thinking about my third or even my fourth degree. um, Having been in this program and speaking to the different members, and gaining an insight from where they're coming from, allowed me to make better plans for my future education.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, and if I can add as well, so I would say I was actually thinking a lot about George's question too, and I think there's plenty of opportunities to continue to share the wealth with friends and colleagues. Lots of opportunities to give back, not only internally with the NALI program and our local chapters at La Mesa as well. We always need mentors and speakers, and so I would say that's one way I immediately jumped into it. And then as far as Rebecca's question goes, I would say it's not unheard of to have cohort members who are also pivoting in their careers. And so they are now focused fully on healthcare administration per se. And so I also encourage it.
Definitely apply, you know. And also, Rebecca, if there is a chapter in your area, definitely get involved, and even at the national level. Uh, One of the questions we have is, what is your favorite memory of being a part of the program?
I can start off with that because I'm sure we have a lot, but definitely mine was participating in the LinkedIn Live panel back in August. I think that that was probably my greatest memory. I were the best memory for myself because it was the moment that I knew that I could public speak better than I actually thought. I gained a lot of confidence from that panel. And the best part, it was after the panel, I received so much great feedback from people. There is people asking for advice. There's people in clinical research that were asking for advice who I actually was able to reach out to for advice. I mean, it really was. I'm really, really glad I chose to participate on that panel. I think it was nerve wracking. My stomach was in a roller coaster. So then beforehand, it was in a roller coaster, but I'm really glad that I did it. So
I think just to add on to that as well, because that was a quite a unique experience. The first time experience for me as well, but also going to the NALI annual summit, which was in Seattle this year, and not only meeting each other, everybody, and the La Mesa administrative staff, which was super awesome and very impactful, but the volunteer opportunities and getting recognized to graduate during the conference, and I think all around it was that was my first time ever going to a professional conference, and yeah, it's one I'll always remember. So I was really happy to be a part of that.
So one of the things I want to mention about the summit is, and our program. Our program is completely virtual. So it's a 6-month program, and we meet. We're using the platform. We're using the platform of Teams in order to connect with different individuals all across the United States. And if you go into our FAQ section, it'll describe a little bit more details about how the program is designed and allows for people to connect in that format. The thing that Bo just mentioned, which is our summit, it takes place every year in the month of September. It's called our National Association of Latino Healthcare Executives Summit. And that summit is in person. So, Bo, that was my favorite part too. It's like that whole M&Ms where you say they do exist. Because we've been virtual for so long, and to actually see and meet people in person, it's such a great experience of connecting with others. So this year, the summit will take place September 13th and 14th, and it will take place in Dallas, Fort Worth. So there will be more details coming about. So definitely follow the National Association of Latino Healthcare Executives page and become a member of NALI, and you'll see newsletters that are going to give you details about the event and how to sign up and how to get involved. Yeah. Any other thoughts in regards to the program?
So I also wanted to, did somebody want to share?
No, you go ahead. You go ahead.
Oh, I was going to share just a couple more logistics. And so one of the other components to actually complete the program involves volunteer work. So either participating in a panel like this, actually English and Spanish. It's a professional type of participation where you can share your own expertise. And the other one is volunteer work. And so we can absolutely expand on that just during the entirety of the program. But I wanted to make sure to mention that as a requirement of completion. And so go ahead and share, Christina.
No, I was just gonna say that I really thank La Mesa, and I'm very thankful for meeting my cohort members and everyone involved. In the 6 months that we were together, and I think that if you want a chance to elevate yourself and elevate your career, do it. Just do it. Apply. I think it's a really great opportunity, guys, and it really opens your eyes to a lot of other opportunities that you may not even know existed. So
I want to add exactly on that. Like, yeah, I think for me, La Mesa means, a lot to me. It was a great experience, and just the connections and the relationships that were built from it. For me, they're life changing, right? And so I think this is a very unique program out of any organization that I've seen or heard of before, and I highly recommend that everybody, if you have that opportunity to do it, yeah, absolutely apply. You're not gonna regret it. Like, I guarantee that.
I agree with Bo and Christina. The program is great. The people you'll meet are phenomenal. They're going to be phenomenal. You're going to have a sense of family. You're going to end up talking to them even beyond the program. The connections you'll make while you're in the program will continue even after. And one of the things that I never thought myself, doing after the program was like get involved with the organization and commit to additional work. But the people that I work with, the people that I've met through the program, have made it so fun and so valuable that I see there's great potential, and that's the reason why I'm deciding. I've decided to stay with the chapter and take an active role within the chapter as well, even after the program.
Well, there's tons of ways to get involved with NALI, and I'd like to talk a little bit about our magazine. So we started this like from our first cohort, we've been at the end of each cohort, we come out with a magazine that really highlights not only the participants in the program, but some of their experiences. And so I'd love for you to definitely check that out. It's on our national page, as well as I believe there is a link that is coming in our LinkedIn Live. Yes. If you look, Elizabeth Godinez, who is our head chair for the La Mesa program, she has posted it in the comments section. You can click on that link and you can read about the wonderful journey of the cohort of 2023. You can also learn about some of the alumni and their experiences. It's a great opportunity. Definitely click on it, learn more about it. And then we also have a comment from Rolando Gomez. I'm glad to have the opportunity to mentor Bo. I encourage my colleagues to apply for mentoring as well. That is definitely an opportunity, an option for you as well. I highly recommend. There's so many ways that you can get involved, whether it's if you're an early careerist and this program is right for you, whether it's sharing the message and the word about the program, or it's just getting the becoming a mentor or finding ways that you can get involved. There's tons of ways that you can get involved, and maybe you want to volunteer and see how you can assist us with the program. If so, I'm going to highly recommend that you check out our new email, lamesa@mynolly.org. Any
If I could, yeah, sorry, Laura. If I just wanted to add to Rolando's, comment, like first of all, thank you to La Mesa, but also thank you to Rolando for being my mentor. He's taught me a lot, and I know we still have some work to do to get me where I need to be. But he's an awesome mentor, and I'm very fortunate that he's my mentor. So yeah, I'm just trying to do my best to make him proud. So but yeah, like thank you, Rolando and La Mesa and Molly and everybody. So just wanted to say that.
Yes. And Elizabeth has graciously also added the link for those who would like to be a mentor. Yeah. So we have both programs that we are accepting applications for. And do you guys have any messages that you would like to share?
So I definitely want to share that each cohort has been very different because it's the people that make the experience. It obviously takes a village anyways in and of itself. And so I think that's what makes it very special. I wanted to kind of share that because each person will take something different that is invaluable to them. And so I look forward to the next cohort and just see, and thank you everyone who is volunteering, even just sharing the program makes a huge difference. So thanks.
Great. Any last minute words or tips you'd like to leave for our audience that you'd like to share?
I think, I kind of already mentioned it for me, but it's just like, just go for it, right? Like, it's okay to get out of your comfort zone and, meet new people and just have new experiences and, just kind of to live it up, right? But like, I honestly really think like you can't go wrong. First of all, joining Nolly because it's an incredible organization, but also, joining La Mesa and getting that invaluable experience and connections from it.
I couldn't have said it better, Bo. Thank you. That's awesome.
I second that.
I think in our last Q&A session, one of the people said, "Do it scared. Apply. This is an opportunity for you. resources are being provided for you to give you the information you need. And you even are inspiring Josephine. Josephine says, I really loved reading everyone's story in a magazine. It really encouraged me to apply. Thank you for sharing, everybody. We also have some other comments that just popped through. Thank you all for sharing your experiences. What is your advice when answering a question with overcoming challenges while remaining vulnerable and authentic?
I would be my advice to that would be I would be honest about the challenges that I face. I wouldn't try to look like like I knew I could do it after all or something like that. I would just if there are challenges and you're gonna have to get personal about it, I would probably just answer it in the most honest and open way you can.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think it's, you know, that challenge that you overcame has made you the person that you are today. And it has furthered you as an individual, both probably personally and professionally. So, LinkedIn user, definitely just remain vulnerable, remain authentic, but also know that that is who is what made you today. So think about that in the back of your head whenever you are answering it.
And I think too, just to add on, those are both great responses. But we all have our own challenges, right? Life can be difficult at times. So you just know you're not alone. And that's why we have this family, right? That we created from everyone across the country, right? We're all in this together in some way or another. So just know you're not alone with that.
Well, thank you everyone for your wonderful wisdom that you shared about the program, your experiences. I hope it was helpful. It sounds like we have a few applications that are coming through. Hopefully they come in early, but we know it takes time. So I think having, really thinking through the questions and having thoughtful answers and really learning about the program and why you would like to participate is part of the most important steps. So with that, we're going to end this session, and we'd like to thank you for spending time with us and connecting with us. Have a great day. Bye, everyone.